Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, How Specialty Contractors Transform Their Change Order and T&M Processes for Faster Approvals. Before we get started, I have two quick housekeeping items to go over. First, this webinar is being recorded and will be available on SMACNA's archived webinar page within the next 7 days. Be on the lookout for an announcement in our weekly member update e-newsletter that the recorded webinar is available. Second, please use the chat to submit any questions you may have. There will be time during the presentation to address them. Now that we have that out of the way, I'd like to turn things over to our presenter, Charron.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Abby, for having us today. Really excited to talk about change orders in T&M and how other specialty contractors, especially in the MEPs and mechanical, are changing their process to get paid faster, to get paid what they deserve. What we're going to do today is dive in and explore a little bit about that topic. So on our agenda, we're going to first give a high-level overview of typical challenges that are faced by contractors, specialty contractors with change orders, a little bit about what Clearstory is all about, and give a high-level overview of the software. At any point in time, if you have questions, just feel free to put them in the chat, and we'll reserve some time at the very end as well for some Q&A. I come from the construction industry. I used to be a project manager on the electrical side of the business, so come with a lot of experience working alongside mechanical contractors. Really excited just to talk to you about these things. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to just roll through a few slides here. So we're going to talk through these items. A little bit about Clearstory. We are a tool that is purpose-built for GCs and specialty trades. We're not focused on one or the other. This is a collaborative tool because it's a challenge that affects everyone in construction. So you can see we work with a lot of specialty contractors in your field, a lot of general contractors, bunch of information about us. And really, we wanted to start with was the state of change orders today, and just give a little high-level information. We did a survey of over 300 construction professionals to get some of these data points. First question we asked a lot of people was, what percentage of them felt that there's more change orders today than there are 5 years ago? And overwhelmingly, 86% of respondents said that there's more change orders today than there were 5 years ago, just due to the different design and contract structures that are out there today, from integrated project design, design build, GMP contract structures, and a lot of the digital tools that are out there now. It makes it incredibly easy to make a change on a project. But the cascading effect is that then all of you have a change order as a result of that. So we're seeing that there's more change orders than previously before. And percent of people that said that change orders impact their cash flow in a negative way, meaning they've done the work, they've spent the money, and they're waiting to get paid, was 72% of respondents. So a significant amount of people feel that there's cash flow implications or challenges as a result of change orders. There's a contingency of people that have found that their change orders go through 2 or more revisions. And it's a significant amount of people, meaning we send a change, we get it back, we make a revision, we send it, we get it back again and have to do that. Again, it's one of those contributing factors to delaying cash flow, but it's also wasting an inordinate amount of time going back and forth via email. We asked this one about how many contractors in the specialties are using paper to track T&M. And overwhelmingly, a very large number of people are still using carbon copy, traditional paper methods to track their revenue. We asked people how often they feel that they're spending 10 or more hours a week just on the change order process. And 81% of respondents felt that they're spending at least a quarter of their week just managing change orders, following up, going back and forth, and trying to stay on top of these items. And then there's a percentage of people that feel that just change orders in general negatively impact their job, whether it's their own job satisfaction, the stress of making sure they've gotten everything sent and submitted to the customer, or if it negatively impacts their customer relationships. 71% of respondents felt that that was something important that happens because of the change order process that they were actively looking to solve. What we've heard as a result of that is there's really 3 common change orders or challenges that come through that process. The first for executives is just having visibility into financial risk or cost exposure. This occurs because a lot of times we have our own internal ERP system, but many times we're still just communicating back and forth with customers via email in a way that isn't highly visible to the organization. We're also tracking, as we saw, 97% of respondents are tracking their revenue on carbon copy paper, something that is really difficult to track and manage in a highly visible way. We also heard that it's just challenging to align with customers. A lot of times we're emailing again back and forth, and then we're tracking our own records somewhere, whether that's an Excel log or whether that's in our internal ERP, but our customers have their own system somewhere, and they're tracking their own information. And that's a core challenge in aligning. And a lot of times we just send our log over to the customer and hope that they're reconciling that against whatever they're tracking. And inevitably surprises do occur through that process. As a result, because we're sending them old data. As soon as we send that change order log to try to align with them, the information's old and stale. There's no real-time data exchange between our system and theirs. The last common challenge we had heard about was just managing and tracking T&M tickets. Again, everything being tracked on carbon copy paper is really difficult to manage. There's so many stories people share of a superintendent's desk drawer that gets opened or a gang box that gets opened and a stack of tickets are found. And then we have to deal with those things at closeout. What our mission is in the industry as Clearstory is to help everyone close change orders faster. We want to help clients, general contractors, and specialty trades like yourselves close these things out faster. What we've found is that as time goes on, change orders tend to stack up on a project, meaning our risk is exponentially increasing as time goes on, which can contribute to negotiated settlements, lost revenue, cash flow delays, and just challenging experiences overall with many difficult conversations at project closeout. What we've really identified is that there is this typical workflow that has to happen on a job site where we have to do these internal activities, but externally we need to collaborate with our customers. And so if we're doing any field director extra work or time and material work, externally, we need a way to capture, document, log, and verify all of that information with our customers. The common tool today is just a piece of paper. We do those things, we create the document, we get all the information on it, we have our customer verify and sign it, they put the little rubber stamp on it. And then we need a way to track and log that piece of paper. That's an internal tool. You all might have a way to do that, whether you're tracking labor against 500 codes, for example, or if you have a project engineer keeping a dedicated Excel-based T&M log. We try to track and manage those things internally, and then they need to get priced. We price those things internally as well. We price them, we log them in our ERP or in our Excel sheets. And the internal systems, I'm sure you all have a great system, but again, we have to go external. We have to leave our home base and go communicate with our customer again. We email them our change order so that we can reconcile, resolve, get it approved. We send them our change order logs to do the same process monthly. Inevitably, we're always trying to focus on getting paid, billing out our change orders, but it's these external activities we've identified that cause the challenges that we're talking about today. Clearstory is really focused on complementing your internal systems with a better external tool so we can solve these two challenges on the bookends here that I've been walking through. And this really distills down into what we call the change order gap. This is a result of everyone needing their own internal software or systems to track their finances. For specialty contractors like all of you, you have some kind of internal software, whether that's a foundation or Procore, QuickBooks, Autodesk. It is a system designed for your eyes only, where you're logging and tracking your finances, budgets, commits, your forecast for the project. And on the other side of this gap, your customers, general contractors, have their own system, any one of these, where they're also logging and tracking and managing their finances. Again, these systems are designed to be closed to your companies or their companies. And we can't log into one another's data set to understand if they've gotten our cost or to have real-time cost exposure between our companies. And that's the gap that's a result of this. The way that we bridge the gap today is by emailing change orders back and forth. We track something and send them our customers our change order log and hope they're reconciling it. If we have to go through the review process, we go back and forth at least twice per the survey we did via email, and everything just happens back and forth. Inevitably, emails are easy to get lost. And then if we are doing any field-directed extra work or time and material work, traditionally it's just tracked on a piece of paper. It's these legacy processes that cause this change order gap and that magnify and create the challenges and impacts that we've reviewed. For MEPs, the challenge also can extend downstream. You find yourself caught between a rock and a hard place. You're communicating all of your change orders upstream to your GCs, customers, but many times we've learned that MEPs will have lower tier trades. You might have lower tier trades under you that you're tracking their change orders. You're having to ask them for their change order logs, managing their T&M tickets, managing your cost exposure, not only upstream, but downstream as well. We're going to focus on how Clearstory works upstream with customers in this example, but we're happy in further meetings to explore how we can collect everything downstream as well. Really what Clearstory is all about is a real-time shared change order log. Our core function is just to replace email as the tool you use to communicate cost exposure outside of your company with your customers. You can use Clearstory to price change orders, or the simplest way to get started is just replace email with Clearstory. Drag and drop your proposal into Clearstory, and we will communicate it out to your general contractor. Your general contractor just receives an email like any change order they're already receiving. They do not need to be a customer of Clearstory's for you to get all of the benefits. What they get is the ability to direct download the PDF out of the email, just like they're used to doing, but they also get access to your change order log for that project alone. And this is one of the core ways we can provide alignment, because it's like a live digital scoreboard between you and your customer that you're broadcasting to them so they can understand their cost exposure in real time. This also allows you to align with your system of record internally. We do integrate with the major financial project management and ERP systems so that you can always have this duality, this shared source of truth between what you're tracking internally and what's been communicated externally, and ensure that they're always aligned. We also have a mobile app that helps with the T&M process. Field leaders use our mobile app to quickly document T&M work when it occurs. They can take date and timestamp pictures. We can get customer signatures live on the device, or we can quickly send them an email so we're not running around hunting for signatures on a job site and spending time inefficiently doing that. For your teams as well, internally, the tickets are automatically populated in our T&M log. You can never have lost, late, or delayed tickets as a result of using a digital tool like Clearstory. And we do store rates and fees. They won't ever be shown on the T&M tickets, but you can use the rates and fees feature to quickly convert a T&M ticket into a fully priced change order and send it out to your customers. As a result of using a tool like Clearstory, we explore 3 key pillars of benefits where we can explore faster processing time, saving your team's time, getting things out the door faster, preventing lost revenue, and improving your cash flow. We've worked with quite a few mechanical contractors, some that are probably a part of your group here, and they've had some really incredible things to say about their experience with Clearstory. We're happy to share this as follow-up from this meeting, but we're going to jump into the software here. What we're going to do is explore 2 key workflows in Clearstory, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. When I jump into Clearstory here, this is our view. This is our web-based page here. You just log in, and this is the view you would all get if you choose to use Clearstory. The 2 key workflows we're going to explore are first our change order log, just showing you how everything can be logged, tracked, stored, and managed in Clearstory and communicated out to the customer instead of using Excel and email as the common tool sets. And then we'll actually go over to our T&M log. We'll show you some pre-populated T&M tickets that have already been created, how we can have access to all of them in real time, and then how we can quickly convert a ticket into a fully priced change order, send it out to the customer. And then that'll be about where we'll go into Q&A. There's a lot more we would love to show you all, and we're happy to set up deeper dive review sessions one-on-one with each of you after this. to really get in the weeds and explore the value of Clearstory for your business and see if we can help solve any of your unique challenges. As I dive in here, we're going to go into the change order log first. Now with Clearstory, in the upper left-hand corner here, you're going to notice there's a sent and received side. Sent side is sending things upstream to our customers, general contractors, whoever we're working directly for. There is a receive side. We can receive everything in Clearstory from our lower tier trades. Today, we're just going to focus on the sent side with sending things upstream to our customer. But if we earn the opportunity to work with any of you and set up those deep dive review sessions, happy to dive into the receive side and how this can function with lower tier trades. Next, I come in and I select my project, and I can select any project in here and toggle through them. This project I'm using is Salesforce Tower. And what we're going to see on our dashboard is our contract summary, showing our base contract, how it's grown. More importantly, how much work has been currently approved to proceed by the customer, and what's in review, what's in their court. In the center is just a visual of these items so we can quickly identify our risk and understand where everything is. And the right-hand side is just some structured data showing us different data points, like average days a change order has been in review is probably the most important leading indicator of a successful project outcome. Down below, though, is your change order log. Now, to get your change orders in here, all your teams need to do is take PDF proposal that they already prepared, and instead of dropping it in an email, they just drop it in Clearstory. They tell us the title and dollar amount, and then we automate the rest of the scoreboard, package it, and communicate it to your customer, giving them that live digital scoreboard experience, but also just giving them the ability to direct download the PDF out of the email. What you get out of the tool here is the ability to dive in and see everything that's been communicated to your customers, regardless of the type of change order it is, whether it's T&M tracking some sort of trade damage, or whether it's ASI, RFI, or any other bulletin lump sum style proposals that you've prepared. You'll always have complete visibility into what's been communicated to a customer. One of the most unique things that we have is our file views column that a lot of specialty trades really like to have. We've received overwhelmingly positive feedback about this one feature, where we can identify and understand if customers have opened our change orders or not. This is tracking every time someone outside of our organization, who we've authorized to use Clearstory, has opened our change order. It gives your teams the ability to proactively follow up on changes that have not yet been opened by your customer, or more importantly, follow up on items that have been viewed several times, where you can engage with a customer and ask if they have any questions, comments, or need anything in order to get that thing approved. At a high level, it's just really meant to provide executive visibility about what's been communicated out of the organization, and also give your customers the data that they need in an easy to digest format. There's other workflows to dive in. We've got a full audit trail history report where we can look in at any change order and identify the change that was communicated to the customer, who it was sent to, and then on our audit trail, everything will be date and time stamped, whether your teams have sent a revision, your customer has looked at it, customer has downloaded it. All of these data points will be date and time stamped as part of the audit trail history report here. That's about it for the change order log. Like I did mention, we do integrate with the leading ERP systems and project management and financial systems. This account, for example, is integrated with Procore. We do integrate with the other ones we've talked about on the slides previously. Very simple to use. We can just select one of our change orders, click the button for the integration that we have enabled, and feed all of that information into our financial system. We're going to shift gears now away from the change order log. We're going to touch on time and material. Time and material is going to lead us back here. But let's go to T&M. Now, T&M is created using our mobile app. Field leaders quickly document field discovered conditions, any extra work, any trade damage that may occur. And similarly to the change order log, we have a sent and a received side, receiving things from lower tier trades, packaging those up, sending our own tickets upstream to our customers. We'll focus on that sent side today. Similarly, you toggle on whichever project you'd like to look at. And what we're getting on our dashboard now, just going from right to left, is a summary of all of our T&M tickets for this project called Salesforce Tower. I can quickly see that there's 422 tickets available. I can see tickets, whether they're being drafted live in the field, whether they're waiting for my customer signature, or if they've been signed. Down below is fully automated tracking log where we can see all the different tickets. We can track their statuses, whether they've been signed, and more importantly, if they've been submitted as a change order proposal. To open any ticket, we can open a ticket if it's being drafted live in the field. We can open it, edit, enhance it before the customer's even seen it. If it's waiting for a customer signature, we can help the field leaders get it signed via the web process here, or they can get it signed quickly on their mobile device. No matter what way we get that signed, our tickets are going to come across in the standard format here. So we're using SmackNA's logo up top here, but whatever logo you have, we put that in the system. And everything will always be broken down: labor, material, and equipment. We only track the quantities, no dollars yet, just replacing the common paper T&M process. So quantity of hours, material, and equipment that were utilized for that scope. We ask your teams to sign it, put their name on it, date and time stamp, and then have your customer sign it as well. And then as part of the process and packaging, we can have date and time stamp pictures, whether you take those live or attach them from your camera roll. The entire purpose is to create an enhanced backup or an enhanced document with great backup, so that you can tell that story not only from field to office, but also tell that story from office to customer of what the work was, why you're entitled to it, and make it easier for them to process that T&M work. Now, when we've identified T&M challenges, the first challenge is just getting tickets from field to office. So often we hear about things getting stuck in truck cushions or tickets being handed in an average of 2 to 3 weeks after the work has already been done. Having instantaneous access via our T&M log is the first way to solve that challenge. The second challenge is just getting tickets priced in a timely manner submitted to customers as quickly and efficiently as possible. To solve that challenge, with Clearstory, we can preload rates and fees into the system. If I have a ticket that's pending a change order that's been signed, I can quickly come in, click my wrench. And whether it's one ticket or a stack of tickets, we can get these priced quickly and efficiently using rates and fees that have been preloaded in Clearstory. Clearstory is just going to extend everything based on the inputs we give the system. It is a CSV file import. Most contractors in your field have data for labor, material, equipment stored somewhere in a CSV or an Excel file. We can quickly digest that, get that into the system incredibly fast and simple and easy. But now what happens as a result of that is we can very quickly and efficiently price this T&M ticket. It can get marked up. We can set this up at the project setup really quick and easy. And we can add additional backup files or support from any of the doc storage solutions or just your project manager's computer. To get this out to the customer, we just click preview and send. And what it's doing now is compiling all the information with the ticket, the signatures, the date and time stamped photos, and then putting a branded cover sheet on it with a full extension. It's easy for your customers to understand, easy for them to review, as well as the ticket backup and any additional support or documents that you've included with this package. Now all I do is hit submit. Our customer is going to get an email, just like they're used to getting. They don't need to log into Clearstory, have a password or an account. But then what we get is that change order that we just communicated, logged, tracked, and stored all here in Clearstory without having to do any data entry beyond just the simple process we went through. So what we've reviewed so far is common challenges that people go through as a result of just the legacy tools in the industry: email, Excel, carbon copy, paper tickets. And then we've seen how Clearstory can solve those challenges by using a live collaborative tool that presents a live digital scoreboard for your customers that also enhances executive visibility internally so we can understand what's been communicated to the customer, being one source of truth between you and your customers to align and make sure that there are no surprises on a project at closeout. And then also how a digital T&M ticket created on the Clearstory mobile app can never be lost, delayed, or and then can be actually priced really quickly and efficiently and then sent to the customer. That's about everything we have time to cover today. I'd like to open it up to Q&A and see if there's any questions that we can answer for you. No questions? Oh, What if my GC doesn't use Clearstory? Fantastic question. Clearstory's built, you give your GCs free access. They don't have to change any behavior. They don't have to pay anything. They don't have to have an account. Typically, GCs just get an email from Clearstory and they can direct download the PDF out of it like it's a regular email you send to them. But there are some extra links that are included in there. They can click, get that live scoreboard access. And again, they don't have to create an account. They don't have to be a Clearstory user at all for you to get all the benefits out of the system. Good question. Anyone else? Okay. Happy to connect with any of you if this resonated with you and you have change order challenges you're looking to solve. We recommend just setting up a 30-minute session one-on-one with us. We can explore your unique business, your unique challenges, and see if we can be helpful at all. With that, we can end and give you all back time in your day.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff. And that concludes the session on how specialty contractors transform their change order and T&M processes for faster approvals. Thank you all for attending. Have a great day.
Thank you.